Good morning. It's Sunday, March 8th, 2026. I'm your host, and this is DX Today. As artificial intelligence continues to reshape the geopolitical and economic landscape, we are tracking significant shifts today, from the Pentagon's evolving partnerships to major labor restructuring in Silicon Valley. We begin this daily brief with a developing story at the intersection of defense and technology.
A distinct divergence in ethical frameworks has emerged between leading AI labs regarding military applications. OpenAI has secured a classified contract with the U.S. Department of Defense, filling a gap left after Anthropic refused unrestricted Pentagon access, citing ethical concerns. The agreement reportedly involves the use of advanced models for target identification, a capability recently utilized during airstrikes in Iran. While the deal includes stipulations for human oversight on weaponry and prohibitions against domestic surveillance, it marks a critical inflection point. The industry is effectively splitting, with some entities integrating deeply into the defense industrial base, while others maintain strict separation.
In response to the rapid acceleration of military and commercial AI, a bipartisan coalition of experts has unveiled the Pro-Human Declaration. This framework calls for an immediate prohibition on the development of superintelligence until a scientific consensus on safety can be reached. The declaration proposes mandatory off switches for all high-level systems and a ban on self-replicating architectures. This policy initiative appears to align with public sentiment, with coalition data suggesting that nearly 95% of Americans oppose an unregulated race towards superintelligent systems.
The labor market impact of AI integration is becoming increasingly tangible. Jack Dorsey's fintech company, Block, has announced a 40% reduction in its workforce today. The stated goal is not merely cost-cutting, but a fundamental restructuring to rebuild Block as an intelligence company powered by artificial intelligence. This move signals a broader trend, where established tech firms are not just adopting tools, but altering their entire operational DNA and workforce composition to center around automated reasoning capabilities.
The Federal Reserve has released new data quantifying this shift in the wider economy. According to their Business Tendency Survey, approximately 30% of businesses with more than 250 employees are now actively using artificial intelligence. Corroborated by similar findings from McKinsey, the data suggests that while we are still in the early to middle stages of transformation, AI has moved firmly beyond the experimental phase and into core operations for nearly a third of large American enterprises.
The financial services sector is aggressively integrating these advanced reasoning models. Balyasny Asset Management has deployed a new investment research engine built on GPT 5.4. Unlike previous analytical tools, this system is designed for large-scale investment analysis that leverages the model's advanced reasoning capabilities. It represents a move towards automated systems that can synthesize vast amounts of market data, seeking a competitive edge through speed and depth of analysis that human teams alone cannot match.
A controversy regarding digital identity has erupted surrounding Grammarly. The company's new AI Expert Review feature is facing backlash for generating personas based on real individuals without their consent. Most notably, the system has included personas of recently deceased professors to critique user writing. This development raises significant ethical questions regarding the appropriation of professional credibility and the rights of individuals, both living and deceased, to control how their expertise and likeness are utilized by automated systems.
While some companies face scrutiny, others are forging partnerships to bolster infrastructure. Anthropic has announced a collaboration with Mozilla to integrate AI into the Firefox browser, specifically for security purposes. This partnership leverages Anthropic's focus on AI safety to identify threats within the browsing environment. It's a notable instance of a major open-source developer bringing in a specialized AI firm to harden consumer software against increasingly sophisticated cyber threats.
OpenAI is also moving deeper into enterprise protection. The company has launched the research preview of Codex Security, an AI agent designed to detect, validate, and patch complex software vulnerabilities. This tool represents an expansion beyond text generation into critical infrastructure maintenance. By automating the identification of security flaws, the system aims to close the gap between vulnerability discovery and remediation, positioning AI as a central component of enterprise risk management.
In a surprising strategic shift, Google has released a command line utility that connects the open-source OpenClaw project directly to Google Workspace data. This tool allows the third-party AI assistant to access Gmail, Calendar, and Drive, effectively enabling it to compete with Google's own Gemini system on its home turf. Analysts suggest this move prioritizes developer choice and platform openness, potentially to mitigate antitrust concerns, while establishing Workspace as agnostic infrastructure for various AI agents.
That same OpenClaw community celebrated a milestone this weekend with its first major gathering, dubbed ClawCon, in Manhattan. The event was characterized by a distinct subculture, featuring attendees in lobster headdresses celebrating open-source development. While the visuals were lighthearted, the implications are serious. The strength of this grassroots support indicates that open-source alternatives are building the kind of social momentum that often predicts the long-term viability of a technology project against proprietary competitors.
Not all deployments are proceeding smoothly. 1 month after its release, Amazon's Alexa Plus is reportedly still struggling with performance issues. The upgraded service, intended to revitalize the voice assistant with generative AI capabilities, has faced execution hurdles during testing. This stumble highlights the persistent gap between having a powerful model in the lab and deploying a reliable, responsive product to millions of consumer homes.
We close with a look at content localization. Descript has rolled out a new feature enabling multilingual video dubbing at scale, utilizing OpenAI models. The system optimizes not just for accurate translation, but for the timing and cadence of the original speaker. This application demonstrates how generative models are rapidly lowering the barrier to entry for global distribution, allowing media producers to localize content for international audiences with unprecedented speed. That wraps up our briefing for this Sunday. As the landscape of intelligence continues to shift beneath our feet, we'll be here to track the tremors. For DX Today, stay curious.